Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Enemy here, bringing you my review for One Piece Chapter 984. And I'm sorry this one's a little later than normal, guys. I've had a couple of things going on, well, pretty much going on today, so I had to get that shit done and then come back and do the review. But with that said, yeah. So let's get into it with One Piece Chapter 984. The first and foremost big reveal of this chapter is that Yamato is not in fact Kaido's son, but actually his daughter. And I will say she must have hid it very well growing up, at least if I understand the context correctly, that her father's crew had no idea she was a girl, because it's like, wow, like how does she like how the hell does she like 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 Yamato must have been Yamato must have been hiding her girl her female form underneath underneath those like pretty much underneath that disguise her entire life, or something akin to that each time she grew up older, because yeah, how the Beast Pirates didn't realize it was that pretty much she was a girl the entire time. Kind of like, yeah, it's a it she must have been hiding under there the whole time, and I imagine that and I imagine that, although at the same time this pretty much does kind of bring up an interesting question, which is like what like obviously the fact that Yamato's a girl, that Yamato is a girl is a big reveal. But if if I understand correctly, and that the Beast Pirates don't pretty much know, well, pretty much know that Yamato's a girl, then the question I think I raise now is why why did why did why is it that Kaido had chosen to keep it a secret? That's one thing I'm kind of curious about, is why Kaido had chosen to keep the fact that Yamato was a girl even a secret. Like, obviously Yamato had probably wanted to do it herself too, but it's like, what exactly is Kaido's reasoning for basically keeping it a secret? Like, it is kind of an interesting question I have now. Like, it sounds so small, but it is kind of a weird question I do have. And now, obviously, the more important part of this reveal, though, is that we learn that Yamato is in possession of Odin's journal, and that there are very important details written in there that will help open up Wano to the world, which to me also translates out to exposing Kaido and Orochi's machinations. Like from seriously, whatever the hell Odin wrote in that journal will more than likely end all of this madness. Like at this point, I think pretty much that pretty much the key to pretty much key to pretty much key to ending everything that's to ending this whole madness and everything going on Wano. I think right now the pretty much key is in that journal, and the fact that it's been kept secret for so long is going to even more illustrates that point to me, because now it gives our heroes like an actual an actual like a legitimate freaking legitimate freaking weapon in which to utilize and to turn the whole flip the whole script on Orochi now. Like, it's and Orochi now. So yeah, it is really so yeah, it's really just a matter of knowing as to when the script is going to be flipped now. Like everything honestly in this chapter tells me that everything has reached a boiling point, and that we're reaching that point where from here everything is gonna like hit the fan now. Um, the only thing I do question with this the only thing I do question, I think, with this part of the reveal, however, is where she says with with the Yakuza 9 dead, she feels it's her responsibility to carry on Odin's will. And maybe I missed something, but maybe I missed something in like a previous chapter or something. But just the fact that the Yamato says that, it makes me kind of question: has she not been keeping tabs on the actions of Luffy's group since they arrived in Wano? Because is she not? Is she then? Is she? If she? Because if she has, then she should know that they're alive. Like, I don't like. It is a little. It's a little. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's not. I guess not a huge deal, but again, it's much like the Marco thing where I find it a little odd that from since Yamato has been avoiding like any kind of contact with her father and trying to keep trying to keep the journal out of her hands, that she wouldn't even that she wouldn't even have the knowledge that yeah, the Yakuza and Nine themselves are back. So yeah, I'm kind of curious about that one, particularly like what the details are there, like what exactly what exactly she's been up to, and why she's kind of out of the loop in that sense. Um, and of course there's of course another reveal with Yamato being with Yamato's reveal that Yamato supposedly knows Ace, and that's probably the least surprising part of this, considering that Ace was part of Whitebeard's crew, so naturally they would have encounters with each other. And while I'm not sure Whitebeard and Kaido were far from having respect for each other, it does show that Ace managed to work that Will of D charm that and through their encounters over time, both Ace and Yamato had grown to respect each other's strength and whatnot. So yeah, which again leads into the, I guess does lead into the early part of the of the chapter where she says that the whole fight with Luffy feels familiar. So there's that too. But yeah, so of course the other big thing with this chapter is we once again focus on Momonosuke's execution, but this time it's a little more from the perspective of the Straw Hats and the samurai who are basically just watching the whole thing like play out, and through getting this specific like POV on top of Nekomamushi, Marco, and Izo reuniting with the other Akaze and Nine Law, makes me realize that the key thing that's going to save Momonosuke right now is timing. Because right now, Oda definitely seemed to be building up that the pivotal moment to rescue Momonosuke will be when Law's group charges in, which is where the opening will hopefully present itself. And right now, it's like all a matter of whether or not they can arrive on time. Because the exact moment where they charge in is when the others have to move in to rescue Momonosuke. Like it's one of those situations right now. Like this chapter, it really gave me a feel where in order to properly rescue Momonosuke, everything has to be timed absolutely perfectly and on the dot. Because if not, then they'll very much miss their chance in order to rescue him. And and at that and if they miss that tiny that and when that window to rescue him opens, it's going to be very tiny. So they pretty much need to act on that tiny opening. And if they don't, then they'll have to fall back on my previous idea of Momonosuke awakening Conqueror's Haki. But yeah, but right now this is a very good setup in that it provides a very tense and very interesting sort of opportunity in order to rescue Momonosuke right now. And at this point, it's really just about how it plays out. Now, going back to Luffy and Yamato for a minute, I do kind of have to call out Luffy in this chapter because I know he can be impulsive, but fighting someone who's trying to help in the middle of a damn hornet's nest of enemies feels like the exact opposite of what he should be doing right now. And I'm not even debating whether or not it's in character or not for him to do this, but it feels like he would at least be willing to hear someone out rather than fight them, which again is eventually what Luffy does. But I mean, I guess what I'm getting at here is that the whole fight between Yamato and Luffy in this chapter, it's the one part of the chapter that feels the most pointless outside of maybe giving outside of giving us that little tease that the Yamato knows Ace and is eventually revealed like at the end of the chapter. But yeah, so outside of that, it's like that whole fight just did not feel like it needed to be there, honestly. Um, but but yeah, as a whole though, this chapter it was really good, and it felt like the this chapter felt like the turning point of this phase of the arc, where everything and everyone has come together, all the pieces are in place, everyone is gathered, and now it's just a matter of how things are going to play out for better or worse. Like unless Oda plans to dive even deeper into the journal and focus entire chapters around it, I'm guessing what's going to happen right now is that I next I think next chapter is where everything is just is where the lid is going to pop off, and like the whole like the operation now is just on the move, and I think everything is going to blow up. And I think from here everything is just going to blow up in both Kaido and Orochi's faces. I think beyond this point, like it's going to be the penultimate I know we kind of had that like charge in moment with Luffy, but again, Luffy was really only the distraction. This is going to be the penultimate like charge in, just wreck the whole thing for everyone. And yeah, everything I think is going to just be blown into chaos beyond this point. So, but yeah, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and list your Crunchyroll. Dead Knight of Enemy, signing off. Later, guys.